We are back in Montreal with the 2008 Nutrilite Canadian Championship Soccer on CBC. Right now, let's join the men calling tonight's match, Nigel Reid and Jason DeVos.
Thank you, Brenda, and welcome to the brand new Saputo Stadium, built in the shadow of the Olympic Stadium. Well, it's soccer's equivalent of the Habs versus the Leafs, and Canadian soccer bragging lines are really on the line tonight, I think.
They are, and it has all the makings of a very fierce rivalry. Both of these teams want to win this game. They've both fielded their strongest available lineups.
They have, but they have been forced to make changes either through international call-ups or, in the case of Montreal, through injury and perhaps loss of form. A new man in midfield, but the striking element is a whole new strike partnership.
Well, it's a new partnership up front for Montreal. Dwight Barnett and Rocco Placentino come in, so we'll have a new look at their front men today.
Toronto FC, well, they are forced again to make changes. Olivier Tebely makes his first start, and there are changes also in midfield and up front.
Well, Kevin Harms comes in as well as Jeff Cunningham, but the key matchup here, I think, is at the back. Marco Velez and Tyrone Marshall have developed a good partnership over the last few games. Marshall's injured, so Tebely comes in. It'll be interesting to see how the two of them cope.
Red shorts and red stockings. The Nutrilite Canadian Championship Soccer on CBC is underway. Well, we mentioned it right off the top of the show. There are points at stake here, but there's a lot of pride at stake in this game as well. Toronto FC, the Major League Soccer team. Montreal, who play their soccer in the United Soccer League, one tier below Major League Soccer, and they will want to show that they have a right to compete with the best in North America. Danny Dicchio, an early flick, and that'll fall to Marvell Wynn on the far side. A good number of Toronto fans have made the journey to Quebec for tonight's game. Many of them in that stand just on the far side. Several hundred of them have come in cars and some by plane as well. So they will have plenty of backing, the visitors, as they always do wherever they go. But Montreal are not short of spectators. Their numbers have grown over the years since this franchise was founded back in 1993. Last season, well into five figures, an average attendance of around 11,000. And we managed to chat to Joey Saputo, the owner, before kick-off, and he was expecting more or less a full house this evening. In fact, as we speak, there are still many fans outside the stadium waiting to get in. So they'll be hoping there isn't an early goal. Here's Kevin Harms, finds Robert, but Testo brings it away from Montreal. Looking for the offside, which didn't come. Harms again. And now Wynn and Rowan Ricketts on that right-hand side for Toronto FC. Marco Velez, who has a new central defensive partner in Olivier Tebely, his first start. So both coaches have had to chop and change. No Maurice Seydoux for Toronto tonight, he's away with the United States. No Amado Guevara either, he's away with Honduras. And Ty Marshall, who was forced to come off against DC at the weekend, not fit for this game. So Toronto FC playing a pretty standard 4-4-2 formation for this game, with Dicchio and Cunningham up front. Early encouragement as Barnett tried to get in, couldn't get a touch, and Brennan brings it away and finds Robert. And now Harms for Tebele. Brennan again, finds Cunningham. Then the long ball looking for Ricketts. The fall for Robinson. Ricketts again with Wynn in support. Ricketts has continued his run. But the understanding wasn't there with Cunningham. Long ball looking for Barnett, but the offside flag is up.
They're looking to spring the counterattack very quickly today, Montreal. They've obviously noted they got a bit of pace up front in Barnett. They're trying to take advantage of that and get in the end in behind the Toronto defense.
Cunningham. Will be a throw to Toronto.
And it's a new partnership up front again, similar to what they had a lot last year, but new for this season. Cunningham and Dicchio haven't played together very much.
Well, Jeff Cunningham has a real opportunity tonight, does he not, to persuade Coach Carver that he should be in the starting lineup on a regular basis.
Well, he hasn't had that opportunity yet so far this season. Tonight's a great chance for him to stake his claim to a place in the starting 11.
To that far side, to Gatti. Looking for the run of Barnett, but Tebele's first to it. And as we mentioned, a whole new strike partnership for Montreal, with Placentino and Barnett, a big un and a little un, if you like, up front for the Impact.
They look lively so far, though, Montreal.
Robinson giving chase, beaten to it by Testo, but a little too vigorous for the referee.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that challenge myself. Testo's gone in hard, he's won the ball. Came in studs up, but won the ball, took it cleanly. For me, that's not a foul.
6 minutes gone, no score in this opening Nutrilite Canadian Championship game. We'll tell you more about the whys and wherefores of this competition as the night wears on. That's a good overlap. Now possibilities here, looking for Barnett. And Tebele took it away. As Sutton was coming to claim. It'll be a corner.
It's good defending from Olivier Tebele. Uses experience there. Positioning was very good. Di Lorenzo on the overlap. Puts a good ball into a dangerous area. Tebele reads the danger. Gets himself in between the striker and the ball.
So the first corner of the night goes to the Impact. Be a right-footed in-swinger. Not particularly good delivery. Di Lorenzo will try and get a better purchase on it. Only half away. Looking for the run of Di Lorenzo again. Left-footed into the box. Over the head of Barnett. It's just wide. It might have been Testo with the shot.
It's good build-up play from Montreal. Already Di Lorenzo has put some good balls into dangerous areas. For me, you've got to hit the target there.
Got a good look at it, Testo, but just pulled it wide at the other end. Danny Dicchio looking for the run of Wynn. It's come all the way through to Dicchio. He tried to funnel it through to Cunningham. The home side get it away again with Di Lorenzo full of running on that far side. Finds Barnett. No offside. Placentino could be in here. Placentino! Well, he lost his footing.
I think there's a foul here, Nigel. Nick DeSantis isn't happy. And I think Velez gets a push on him here.
There was certainly contact. Referee saw nothing wrong, just there.
He's reached out, pushed him with his left hand. That's a penalty for me, in my book. I think Toronto are very lucky to get away with that one there.
But good early pace and a warning sign to Toronto that they are going to be in a game. Placentino making his first start for Montreal. Nearly made a very early impression. Adam Braz on this near side. Away by Tebele. Robert finds Harms. Then Robinson. Testo was in again. Barnett's well forward. Brennan comes to take charge. Forced away. Over the top again. It's wide. Well, the Impact are certainly making one in the early stages. Less than 10 minutes gone. And it's the home team making all the running.
It's a lovely ball from Jertson. In behind the Toronto back four. Unfortunately, Placentino couldn't get his volley on target.
Dicchio gives it away to Di Lorenzo. Placentino hadn't made the run that time. But Greg Sutton has been the busier of the two goalkeepers.
Montreal just have to focus a little bit more and hit the target. They've had a couple of very good opportunities to test Greg Sutton and haven't done so just yet.
Greg Sutton, of course, a great servant to Montreal for 5 or 6 years before he moved to Major League Soccer with Toronto FC. Here's Wynn, battling his way forward again, looking for some support. Finds it from Robinson. Now Cunningham. The ball in from Ricketts. Offensive header away from Leduc. It's fallen to Robinson again. Ricketts tries to go round his man, but Gatti stood tall.
Excellent defending from Gatti, one-on-one. Ricketts is a handful when he's direct and he runs at you, but he stood his ground, kept his eye on the ball, exactly what you want from a fullback.
Win for Dicchio. Testo. It's fallen for Brennan. Harm's first touch wasn't good. Tebele and Robinson. Harms again. Jertson. Asked to play a wide right whirl. Joey Jertson has played as an out-and-out striker. Barnett faces Tebele. Effective foot, and then a foul. So another chance for the Impact to put pressure on the visitors.
But Dwight Barnett's exploiting that space in behind Jim Brennan to isolate Olivier Tebele. Tebele just fouls him there, gives away a free kick in a dangerous area.
Judson will deliver it. Robinson was down. Not effective by Robert. Testo. This time Greg Sutton didn't have to deal with it. Unchallenged header. Wynn and Robinson looking for the run of Ricketts up the far side. It's a good ball, only one to aim at. Ricketts waits for the cavalry, decides to go again. Suggestions of handball. Play goes on. And Jertson again on this near side with Braz galloping in support. And now Tebele finds Harms. Cunningham and Robert. Braz the covering defender. And just about the first touch for Matt Jordan. the Montreal goalkeeper.
Very calm under pressure there, Jordan. Always panic as a center half when a keeper does something like that.
Well, Jordan has plenty of experience. 4 years himself in Major League Soccer with Dallas some years ago. It's gone to Toronto, despite the protests of Barnett. Brennan will take it. Finds Dicchio with a flick inside. Robert helps it on. And Ricketts will pick it up. Now Robinson. And Wynn again. Falls for Ricketts. Rides one challenge. Ricketts with the cross across. That's easy for Jordan. Keen to get on with it. Tebele beats Barnett. Brennan. Well, it's a lively start by both teams, but most certainly the men in black, I suppose you could say, have had the better of it. Marvell Wynn on that right-hand side. Loses out to Di Lorenzo, looking for Placentino. In quickly was Tebele. Gatti. Combining with Di Lorenzo. And now Testo for Montreal. Jurtson has Barnett ahead of him. And Braz wide. Comes inside to Aguilera. Di Lorenzo keeps it in. Charged down by Wynn. Robinson. Went away. Velez had to clear up. Harms finds Dicchio.
What Montreal are doing really well so far is they're hitting the front man early, which is making it very difficult for Toronto. Velez and Tebele are being left a little bit exposed, and Barnett and Placentino are taking advantage of that right now.
Cunningham rides one challenge. Now there are possibilities. Here's Cunningham. He might go alone. Does, just wide.
It's a golden opportunity for Jeff Cunningham. He's got to do better here. He's got to at least hit the target, make the keeper make a save. Danny Dicchio's frustrated in the middle of the park because Cunningham could have slid it across. You can't argue against that, though, because any striker in that position would go for goal, but he has to score there.
First real opportunity for Toronto. After 16 minutes, Jordan was happy to see it flash wide of the far post. But for a moment it was 2-on-2. Cunningham decided to go for goal. And as you rightly say, he had Dicchio inside him. Di Lorenzo battling with Wynn. Out for a corner. Not the first of the night for Toronto. For Montreal, I beg your pardon. And the noise level rises again in the Saputo Stadium. The home fans sense the opening goal may not be too far away. Some pushing and shoving. Free kick to the visitors.
Good call from the referee. You see a lot of that when a corner comes in. A lot of pushing and shoving off the ball. A lot of it gets uncalled. The referee got that one right.
It happens on just about every set piece, and more often than not.
Well, they get away with it as well. You know, if the referee doesn't call it, you try your luck and get away with a little bit more.
I'm sure you've pulled your fair share of shorts and jerseys in your time.
Never, Nigel. I would never do that. I always play by the rules.
Of course you did. Persoli, centre back. Adam Braz, I'm sure he'll be bursting to make a good impression this evening. had a year at Toronto. This is now his third spell. Adam Braz with the Montreal Impact. Made just 13 appearances for Mo Johnston's team last year.
It's something you always do subconsciously when you play against your old team, is you raise your game. It's like you have a point to prove to them that they shouldn't have released you or let you go.
Braz again battling with his former teammate Danny Dickio. Will duck away. Barnett tees up Jersten. Arms is in quickly. Finds his skipper. And Brennan forced to go all the way back to Sutton, to the jeers of the home fans. Well, the referee has decided that the call should go to Montreal. I suppose it should be said that you know all about, well, not necessarily this place, because it's only been open a matter of weeks, but you know all about the passion of Montreal Impact supporters. You virtually started your professional career right here.
I did, and I owe a debt of gratitude to the Montreal Impact and Joey Saputo in particular. He gave me an opportunity to play here, and we won a championship in 1994, which was wonderful. My first championship, and you know, he didn't stand in my way either. When I had the opportunity to go to England, he made it happen. You know, and I definitely owe him and the Montreal Impact a big debt of gratitude for giving me a start as a young lad and giving me a platform to go on and improve as a player.
And one of the nice things is, looking around the stadium a little earlier on, we were very fortunate that Mr. Saputo gave us a guided tour of not only the field, which is in excellent condition, but also the inner sanctum of the dressing rooms, and all the former players have been honoured, those that won medals, and I see your name appears in the home locker room.
Yes, the Hall of Shame we called it, didn't we?
That's you, not me. Here's Laurent Robert, still no score. 21 minutes gone. Win with Robert being hassled by Testo.
Жовтні 99-го він забив м'яч у ворота збірної Росії. Зараз жовтень 2010, 11 років. Бачили його ролі біля м'яча. Це вся канадська збірна біля одного своєї штрафної площадки. Пробиває Андрій Шевченко, пробиває низом, обвів стінку. Але там далі заблокували політ м'яча.
Разворачивать игру на другой фланг. Чаще переводы нужны, конечно, с фланга на фланг, чтобы расшатать сборную Канады. Пока вот это у нас не очень получается. Даже через вратаря и переводы. Не надо ведущий игрок. Сейчас вот Ротен чуть потерялся в середине поля, чтобы на себя брал и разыгрывал. Потому что его туда поставили, как говорится, Калиц на свое место его поставил в сборную.
Бачимо, зараз Ротань віддав передачу на Гая. Гай погано скинув на Шевченка. Ну, тобто...
Вот, что мы говорили, в отборе проявляется. Я думаю, вот это...
Він останнім часом дуже непогано виглядає якраз. Тобто він вміє читати і добре читає якраз атаку чужу. Він може побачити, як вона буде розвиватися і як наслідок її перервати.
Ну, я думаю, да. Но все-таки главное для полузащитника разыгрывающего — это вести атаку. Потому что есть, кто отнимать должен в команде больше, а кто должен больше работать на атаку. И от него хотелось бы больше действий видеть нападение, создавая успелость полузащитника сейчас.
Ну, в мене таке враження, що, Олеже, можливо, ви мене поправите, але в мене таке враження, що збірна України от поспішає якось загострити ситуацію. Може, справді не потрібно квапитися, можливо, варто розіграти м'яч, контролювати його і вже шукати можливість для того, щоб закінчити атаку. А так ми намагаємося дуже багато ризикованих передач в боротьбу.
У нас сейчас мы давайте закончим эту атаку опять, и опасная довольно-таки атака для Канады. Сейчас должны ребята разобраться. Бежать вперед необходимо теперь. Не останавливать мяч. Я думаю, наоборот, сейчас не хватает именно... Канадцы приспособились к этой уже держанию мячу. Необходимо пасы, длинные подсечки за спину. Сейчас должен кто-то из нападающих прикрываться за спину. Не только перед собой. И тогда уже канадская оборона должна разрываться будет. Они будут знать, что делать. Я думаю, во втором тайме мы все увидим. Потому что тренер должен вести. Когда, как говорится, со скамейки видно все.
Ну, хочеться сказати, що от про передачі за спину захисникам. Ну, в нас і Воронін, Селезньов і Шевченко, чесно кажучи, не ті футболісти, які можуть вибухнути швидкістю.
А тут не главная скорость. Главное в футболе, когда совпадает момент паса с момента рывком игрока. Вот тогда неважно, какая у тебя скорость, потому что все игроки обладают определенной скоростью.
Ну, зараз Воронін відібрав м'яч, віддав відразу у штрафний майданчик, але тут відбивається м'яч. Чіпляється Оушен, зачепився він за м'яч і намагається розвернути вже атаку своєї команди.
Действительно, Оушен он такой крепкий, физически сбит. Да, 13 друзей Оушена, скажем так. Но у него, да, тут всего 10. Я думаю, он действительно такой таранный нападающий, как мы видели. Но пока мяч сборной Украины, контроль. Опять у нас хороший контроль, но вот взрыв сейчас на штрафной площади необходим взрыв.
Кучер на фланг. Фланзе Романчук,
Вот
Шевченко.
быстрее, быстрее сюда. Вот. И сейчас будет заставить сборную Канады бегать. А они пока не очень не бегают без мяча, как мы видим. Они оборонно стали, как в хоккее, свою зону держат и все.
Ну і подивіться, зараз помилка від Гая. Відразу ж Федецький не вступає у боротьбу, намагається розігнати свою атаку футболісти збірної Канади. Оушен. Відбивається м'яч, забирає м'яч зараз Ротань. Кулаков скидає на Шевченка. Шевченко розвертає м'яч на Кулакова. Кулаков йде на трьох суперників невдало. М'яч відскакує зараз до Кучера. І Кучер намагається робити довгу передачу.
Опять на правый мяч идет. Где левый фланг? У нас начинается как бы небольшая неразбериха. Сейчас надо остановиться. Вот правильно, Юра, мы с вами Кольцов встал, видит он все это, что идет как бы небольшой непонятной ситуации. Надо успокоить команду. Потому что желаний много, а что-то не получается. Вот Селезнева мы увидели. Это все ближе к штрафной.
Гай з м'ячем. Гай на правий фланг. На Кулакова в боротьбу. Все в боротьбу. Дуже багато боротьбу.
Мы сегодня не видели ни одного прохода с краю и передачи. Поэтому это чем всегда...
Хоча Селезньов, ну, я думаю, що його випускали якраз для цього, щоб він протискував, давив постійно на
Есть у нас и Шевченко, и Селезнев, которые там умеют играть головой и давить. Вот опять.
Воронін дуже грубо помиляється.
Ошибки.
Передачі, немає положення поза грою.
Хорошо,
П'ятов.
Пятов выйдет сейчас. Молодец, прочитал игру. Ну, и небольшой звоночек защитникам, что нельзя опять-таки бросать такие грубые ошибки. Что сейчас необходимо успокоить игру, поддержать просто мяч, даже в ущерб нападению. Вот разладилось в команде и необходимы коррективы.
Я хочу сказати, що, Олеже, ну, десь не вистачає, можливо, в мене таке враження, що не вистачає десь Тимощука, тобто лідера в півзахисті. Не вистачає тої людини, яка могла би зараз завести, знаєте, своїм відношенням до роботи.
Не хватает именно в центре поля. Но я говорю, ты еще пробуй. Всех игроков надо, да, на этом месте. И я почему сколько раз говорю, что во втором тайме, я думаю, мы увидим другую команду. Выйдут сейчас игроки, которые более сыгранные. Но необходимо, конечно, против Канады попробовать всех. Но уже и надо и выигрывать. Пробовать можно всех, но при этом необходима победа.
Я хочу сказати, що на даному етапі от ця гра чимось нагадує матч проти збірної Польщі виїзний. От також ми достатньо непогано розпочали, а потім десь розгубилися, гол пропустили. Якось, ну, знаєте, не виглядала цілісною гра збірної країни у тій грі.
Ну, в принципе, трудно сравнивать, потому что тут хозяева поля первые минуты пошли.
Ну, ні одного гострого моменту, жодного гострого моменту за півгодини гри.
Один удар только был поворотом. И тут, конечно, я еще раз повторяю, все-таки необходимы полузащитные ходы хорошие, которых сейчас нету. И раз нету полузащиты, значит, надо, я так понимаю, использовать фланги и через фланги проходить. Вот классно Шевченко проходит опять. И идет коллективный отбор пытаться, дали уже идти всем. И
Ну, і подивіться, зараз вискакує Сімпсон.
4 человека.
І можна віддати передачу, вихід сам на сам. І подивіться, 0-2. 0-2 проти збірної Канади. І забиває, здається, Хатчісон. А ні, Атіба Хатчісон. 13-й номер забиває Атіба Хатчісон. Він відкрився зараз на позицію центра форварда. Друга атака, і ми програємо з рахунком 0-2.
Ну да, такая же неприятная ситуация. И сейчас, я думаю, все дальше и дальше движется ближе. Какая-то минута сейчас у нас?
30-та.
30-я минута, уже 0-2. Я думаю, необходимо уже будет сейчас делать какие-то выводы и начинать уже менять в команде, потому что, как я уже говорил, последние 5 минут необходимо было уже команде просто подержать мяч, потому что мы увидели, сами отсюда увидели разлад небольшой в команде произошел. И сейчас необходимо ребятам собираться и играть уже в новый футбол, потому что так футбол, в принципе, без держания мяча, без агрессии ни у кого не будет.
Ну і хочу сказати, що Олеже, з таким центром захисту все-таки на Бразилію, я думаю, що це буде дуже небезпечно.
Про Бразилию рано еще вообще говорится.
Щось мені згадалося зараз, що наступна гра проти бразильців. Передача зараз на Селезньова. Аут для збірної України.
Головой, я думаю, да, будет?
Ні, аут, Федецький. Федецький, обігрує Федецький, не вдалося обіграти зараз другого футболіста.
Ну и ближе надо накрывать теперь сейчас.
Кучер. Накладка.
Пошел,
Я
да,
думаю.
первая желтая карточка.
Олександре, 0-2. Як там сприймають на лаві запасних української команди?
Ну, сприймають як. Вже Алієв, Мілевський, Тимощук роздягаються, йдуть розминатися, а в принципі всі дуже сумні були, тому що так зацікавлено стежили за футболом. Євген Хачеріді, зокрема, так доволі незадоволено головою похитав. Він то знає, хто помилився в цій ситуації.
Разборы потом будут после полета. После игры будет разбор полетов, а сейчас необходимо собирать команду, не сильно выпускать с игры игроков и наглеть и лезть вперед, потому что это единственный шанс и брать на себя игру. А мы видим, что пока вся игра возня идет в середине поля, которая, в принципе, хорошо, но когда вот усложнять на себя, брать, влезать, необходимо это сейчас. Вот сейчас необходимо кому-то брать на себя роль лидера. От кого мы ожидаем это, я думаю, сегодня не секрет, поэтому посмотрим, кто это сможет сделать.
Федецький зараз частіше по правому фланзі почав ходити в атаку. Зараз він з м'ячем віддає передачу у штрафний майданчик. Зовсім не вдала ця передача. Відбивається Сімпсон. Обігрує він зараз Федецьку і знову може зараз пробивати вперед на Оушена. І знову передача проходить. І знову вихід сам на сам. Не зумів зараз, підцікав.
Да, хорошо, что Оушен действительно не такой. Физическими данными хорошими обладает, а техническим мастерством, как вы видели, не очень. Но я думаю, сейчас будут делать выводы, потому что такие моменты пропускать нельзя. Уже сборной на таком уровне надо сосредоточенно играть и понимать друг друга с полуслова.
Ну, але з іншого боку, Олеже, ну тричі, і ми даємо тричі пробивати.
Я же поэтому, что даже нельзя, чтобы убегал, не то, что пробегал. Мимо нельзя, чтобы пробегал в таких ситуациях. И поэтому, когда два центральных защитника пропускают между собой одного раз, два, три, то это уже и выигрывая при этом позицию метр. Тут не только скоростные данные, тут еще и психологические данные. Ну вот.
Ну от зараз передача на Шевченка. Шевченко входить.
Влезай сам, влезай, Андрей, дальше.
Не побачив, що впав футболіст. Лівим флангом передача.
Ну да, сейчас ему надо было уже лезть самому, потому что...
Не помітив. Мене таке враження, що просто не помітив, що впав футболіст, з яким він
Ну,
боровся.
хотелось бы, как говорится, уйти на перерыв, как говорится, с голом отыгранным одним, потому что необходимо, чтобы психологической фоне. Конечно, после такого расстройства это необходимо и завести в команду. Сейчас все игроки сборной Канады свои, не свои, 10 метров провели штрафной площадке.
Ще одна буде передача. Зараз подавав Олексій Гай. Я тим часом повідомлю, що преміум спонсор національної збірної команди України страхова компанія «Княжа». Ротань. Гай, Ротань. Подавати і подавати. Розіграє він зараз.
Хороший удар,
Ще раз буде кутовий.
Ну, сейчас посмотрим, как наиграны стандартные положения головы раз за разом.
Воронін подає зараз. На ногу. Удар, поворотом, м'яч прилітає прямісінько від Хіршфельду.
скажем так, опасный момент и хорошая наигранная ситуация.
Ну, я сомневаюсь, що це була така, знаєте, якби планово награна ситуація, тому що
что подача шла именно на этого игрока, действительно, да. Просто удар не получился.
Кучер пробивав. Пролітає повз м'яч Кучер. Страхує його Романчук. І середина поля. Ми все-таки тут Воронін вступив в боротьбу, м'яч відібрав. Передача на лівий фланг. Романчук невдало грає. Селезньов зовсім не помітив. Жодного разу не зачепився за м'яч.
В принципе,
Євген
да,
Селезньов.
для...
І тут знову зараз бачимо атака на ворота збірної України. Хатчинсона. Тіба Хатчинсона. Тут встигли повернутися футболісти української команди. Ротань відібрав м'яч, скидає на Шевченка. Шевченко на фланзі.
И никто не помогает. Вперед бежать надо. Все-таки необходимо 1, 2, 3, 4.
Кулаков. Кулаков зараз дивиться, куди подавати. Подає Кулаков на Селезньова. Селезньов б'є від воріт.
Первый раз мы видим Селезнева в действии. То, что, как говорится, его лучшие качества, которые не использует, и поэтому он совсем не заметен. Он выпадает из той игры, которую предлагает Калитвинцев. Если его игра — это проходы, передачи в штрафную. И я думаю, тут необходим будет игрок, который больше владеет скоростными качествами, скажем так.
Олександре, чи буде ще заміна до перерви? Яка твоя думка?
Знаєте, щойно так Алієв дуже близько підбіг до лави, розминаючись, а Калитвинцев в цей момент встиг перехопити його погляд, він так повернув голову в сторону тих, хто розминався. Можливо, і буде, тренер думає про це.
Еще 10 минут, хотелось бы, вот опять.
Є контратака зараз у збірної України. Воронін помиляється. Воронін дуже знову ж таки грубо помиляється. І знову, подивіться, лише в підкаті. Кучер зараз ліквідовує загрозу.
Набрал, и необходимо краями защитники. Вот.
Федецький. Вирішується центр Федецький. Віддає зараз на Гая. Гай на Кулакова знову на фланг. Кулаков всередину на Селезньова. Селезньов б'є, влучає у ногу суперника. Селезньов вже глибше сів для того, щоб отримати м'яч. Немає порушення правил.
И выплезать штрафную площадь, да. Опять мы видим, что в середине поля никого у нас нету. Нету через звена, через которые связана должна быть игра. Это, так говорится, по картинке не очень хорошо заметно, а нам с комментарской кабины это очень хорошо видно.
Оушен віддав зараз на правий фланг. Передача на Джекшона. Ну і Кучер відіграв м'яч. Мандзюк, перепрошую, відіграв м'яч за меж поля. Ну що, як тут, що тут можна коментувати? Все на ваших екранах. Президент Федерації футболу України.
Надо сейчас включать и менять, делать команде передышку, подумать, хорошо тренера настроить и проявить свои лучшие качества будет. Хотелось бы до, но я надеюсь, после первого тайма в перерыве произойдет обмен мнениями, и мы увидим команду, которая будет больше нагнетать. Конечно, тут нет нарушения правил.
Марсель Де Йонг лівим флангом намагався продертися. Де Йонг, який може зіграти і в півзахисті. Ну, у цьому матчі він грає на позиції лівого захисника. Тут він намагався продертися. І інша трійка. Артем Федецький відібрав м'яч. Воронін, немає кому віддати Воронін. Віддає на Гая. Гай далі на Шевченка. Шевченко в один дотик обігрує суперника. Входить у штрафний майданчик, обігрує суперника ще одного. Ротань підходить. Ротань віддає на Селезньова. Селезньов вже у карній зоні. Вийшов вже з меж штрафного
Но
майданчика.
все равно нельзя терять ритм атаки.
Помилка від Ротаня. Ну тут Ротань, напевно, все-таки мав би пробивати.
У нас сейчас в сборной происходит такое чувство, что не совпадение уровень мастерства одних игроков с уровнем мастерства других. Поэтому, когда игра идет на больших скоростях, идет разная скорость мышления. Поэтому происходят многие такие разрывы. Да.
І я так розумію, що і технічний арсенал футболістів, він також тут
Это есть уровень мастерства. Я говорю не только обо всем, это общий, технический и уровень мышления. Все не совпадает, поэтому происходят большие разрывы. И все-таки надеюсь, что хорошо этот первый тайм будет уроком действительно для игроков, тех, которые считают, что уже готовы для сборной, то хорошо будет им это наглядным уроком на дальнейшее, что работать и еще раз работать.
Григорій, я бачу, що там футболісти збірної Канади пішли розминатися. Чи готує заміни Стівен Харт на другий тайм?
Так, пішли дійсно розминатися. Не знаю, наскільки це серйозно, але принаймні трійка футболістів вже відправилася. Між іншим, що цікаво, так серед них є і Маркус Гебер, і Педру Пашеку, і Джуліану Келло.
Тут два футболісти, які можуть дебютувати. Це Келло і Едгар можуть перший матч зіграти збірну Канади. Ну, тим часом Україна атакує лівим флангом. Ротань подає м'яч в штрафний майданчик. Ротань Шева зупиняє. І м'яч не залітає у ворота. Від воріт. Від воріт. Все-таки арбітр показує, що від воріт. Ну, дивимося цей момент. Передача показує Воронін, що йому потрібно було робити передачу. Віддав на Шевченка, і Шевченко просто не зумів. Не зумів, як якісно пробити.
Нет, успел, все-таки, да, правильно показывает, успел защитник видеть его. Вот.
Бачимо, що так.
Вот, тут и есть, что раньше же успел еще и закрыть раз. Но появляются наконец-то опасные моменты, это уже радует. Первые полчаса мы вообще их не видели. Сейчас уже два опасных момента, и я думаю, что увидим дальше. Потому что, как мы видим, сборная команда Канады в обороне тоже допускает большие ошибки. В данный момент. Необходимо скорости. Прибавим чуть во втором тайме скорости. Я думаю, мы сможем отыграться и еще забить решающий мяч.
Ведецький.
Мяч
Можна грати. Зараз Гай на лівий фланг. Воронін робить забігання Ротань. Передача на... Зараз не буде пробивати Гай. Кулаков на правому фланзі.
Это уже идет остановка ритма атаки. Сейчас отбирать необходимо. Вот, молодцы.
Порушення права з боку Мандзюка. А канадські вболівальники, бачимо, вони задоволені.
Ну, конечно, я думаю, на их месте сейчас выигрывая 2-0 с Украиной. Для них это сейчас праздник, потому что, судя по их последним результатам, команда все ищет. Ну вот и выходим чуть-чуть и тянемся. Когда нападающие бегут, необходимо их поддерживать. Причем вот.
Ну, все рівно виходять з цього пресингу канадці.
Нет, так потому что не успевать в прессинг наши ребята. Вот в конце концов где-то зацепились. Но в прессинг должен быть еще мощнее.
Мандзюк грає на Ротаня. Ротань на Кучера. Просить передачу Федецький. М'яч долітає до Артема. Артем його зупиняє. Хоча передача не в хід, а прямо в Федецького. Федецький розвертається і біжить назад.
Видим, кому отдать середину.
І відтискають, постійно відтискають нас.
То, что мы видим сейчас, тройка нападающих вместе все. Воронин, Селезнев и Шевченко. Смотрите, они на 10 метрах все троем находятся.
Я так розумію, що Гусів побіг, так, Олександре?
Да?
Так, переодягаєтеся, побіг Олег Гусів. Він вийде, я так розумію, з перших секунд другого тайму.
Правильно, я думаю, человек 4 выйдет сразу с первых минут.
Ну, він побіг так з формою, було помітно тут поруч з нами. Зараз подивіться, обіграв Романчук суперника. Романчук стріляє, Романчук і не встигає Селезньов закрити цю передачу. Встигне Кулаков. Кулаков встигає дістати м'яч зараз на фланзі. Кулаков, Шевченко у штрафному майданчику. Федецький.
Еще передача.
Федецький.
Или передача непонятно, что это. Ну, надо или жестче делать такие передачи.
Підсікав м'яч.
Но
зараз
уже
Артем
что
Федецький.
нравится, что прибавил. Вот последние 10 минут мы увидели тот футбол, который необходим был с первых минут, чтобы посадить Канаду в своей штрафной, ну и нагнетать, а не просто играть, катать мяч. Но ничего, тем сейчас, как говорится, и ценнее проявится характер. Я думаю, все.
Шевченко, Селезньов. Шевченко, отримай передачу Шевченко.
Да, Селезнев должен был вот,
Повернути і на Вороніна віддавати.
да, отдавать в ту сторону, потому что, конечно, Шева перекрывали. Но тут, как говорится, сказывается авторитет. Ну ничего, надо дальше идти. Канадцы уже встали, и хотелось бы увидеть мяч еще в первом тайме.
Федецький.
Еще есть
Кулаков.
время, еще есть.
Просить передачу Воронін. Кулаков йде далі. І втрачає м'яч в пустій ситуації. Зараз Денис Кулаков. Ну, я думаю, що якщо Гусі вийде, то, напевно, якраз замість Кулакова.
Ну, думаю, да.
На правий фланг.
Кулакова, я думаю, и нападение поменяют Селезнева, Воронина, выйдет Алиев.
Ну, зараз хороша передача від Ротаня. Шевченко лівим флангом входить у штрафний майданчик. Прострілює.
Сам не надо, уже исполняй. Раньше Андрей такие никому не отдавал, скажем так. Поэтому исполняй, потому что уже за твой сотый мяч матч. Попал уже. И все, потому что, конечно, такие моменты разбазарить нельзя. Уже два момента мы видим у Андрея.
Сімпсон на лівому фланзі зараз канадці йдуть проти Федецького. Далеко пускає м'яч Сімпсон.
Хотел кое-что задесировать Симпсон. Это... Ну еще последние есть 2 минуты, чтобы забить мяч.
Ну і стоячи,
Сил уже нету, но хотелось бы все равно прибавить.
Кулаков зміщується в центр, Кулаков і відбирають його м'яч. Якось, знаєте, Кулаков...
Но увидел, что никого нету, решил сам влезть. Сейчас
Симпсон.
надо возвращать мяч, бегать, чтобы его вернуть. Канадцам, конечно, этот счет. Уйти в раздевалку с таким результатом очень устраивает. Я думаю, во втором тайме мы увидим другую команду, которая с первых минут начнет и 45 минут будет добиваться результата противоположному первому тайму.
І зараз подивіться на правому фланзі, обігрує зараз суперників і зараз Оушен у штрафному майданчику.
Головой удар в последних минутах первого тайма. Да, первый тайм, подведем итоги, маленький пока оставил. Очень много пищи для размышлений. Что необходимо делать будет во втором. И игрокам...
Ви все-таки намагаєтесь якось так зм'якшити ситуацію,
Нет,
Олеже, тому що
игрокам-
насправді я хочу
Нет.
сказати, що такого...
Потом уже будем говорить, когда закончится игра. Сейчас необходимо старшему тренеру разобраться с этой ситуацией. Игрокам, которые выходили в первом тайме, задуматься действительно о происходящем. И надо, если даже будет просто. А сейчас я надеюсь,
П'ятов. І стає м'яч, і буде ще один
там
кутовий.
никого не было. Вот тут
Ніхто не підказав.
подсказки, да, не хватает. Все.
Лунає свисток про закінчення першого тайму. Отже, збірна України на товариському матчі програє команді Канади з рахунком 0-2. 0-2 програє зараз збірна України. І це, безперечно, суперсенсація. Ну, але є ще 45 хвилин для того, щоб повернутися у гру і все-таки виграти цей поєдинок. Будемо сподіватися, що нам вдасться це у другому таймі.
Шановні глядачі, представляємо важливий спонсор та партнерів Федерації футболу України. Національний партнер Федерації футболу України відкритий акціонерне товариство «Укртелеком», сучасні телекомунікаційні послуги. Страховий партнер Федерації футболу України та преміум спонсор національної футбольної команди України. Страхова компанія «Наза». Преміум спонсор національної збірної команди України з футболу Чернігівська. Преміум спонсор та офіційний постачальник спортивного екіпірування для національних збірних команд України з футболу компанія «Адідас». Офіційний паливний партнер національної збірної команди України з футболу ТМК. Офіційний медичний партнер Федерації футболу України клініка «Борис». Національний партнер Федерації футболу України відкрите акціонерне товариство «Укртелеком», сучасні телекомунікаційні послуги. Офіційний авіапартнер національної збірної команди України з футболу авіакомпанія «Міжнародні авіалінії України». Офіційний спонсор національної збірної команди України з футболу компанія «Хеміль Проотехнік України». Офіційний постачальник автомобілів для Федерації футболу України концерн «Мігі». Інформаційні спонсори матчу. Руське радіо України. Хіти від 90-х до сьогодні тільки хіти. Газета «Комсомольська правда» в Україні. Інтер – офіційний бродкастер матчу. Дякую за увагу.
Well, just a great crowd on hand to watch this historic matchup between the USL's Montreal Impact and Major League Soccer's Toronto FC. Now, let's go back to the booth for the call of the second half with Nigel and Jason. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Brenda, and welcome back as we await the return of the two teams for the second half. No score at the interval, but no shortage of chances in this first half, and it's certainly arguable that Montreal have had the better of it.
Well, the one thing that John Carver will be telling his team in the dressing room is that they've got a game on their hands. I think Montreal were the better side in the first half. Little bit unfortunate not to be in the lead, but having said that, Toronto also had two very good scoring opportunities themselves. So the real surprise is that the score is still 0-0.
9 shots to 6 in favour of Montreal in that first half. Both goalkeepers, according to our official statistician, had 3 saves to make, but Montreal 4 corners to Toronto's 1, so that's a demonstration of their superiority in terms of offensive-minded soccer, I suppose, in the first half.
I think if anyone thought that Toronto was just going to turn up here and collect all 3 points and go home, they're sorely mistaken, because you know they're in a tough game here. They've got a very difficult second half ahead of them. Montreal have got their tails up because they've played very well in the first half, and now that Nick DeSantis will have told them at halftime, you've done everything right, now just put the ball in the back of the net.
Do you feel Toronto grew into the game as the half wore on?
I think they did. I think the one thing that they Montreal did very well was they came out of the blocks quickly. You know, they used the pace of their front two, Barnett and Placentino, to get in behind the back four of Toronto, caused them some problems. But as the half wore on, Toronto started creating opportunities themselves.
Matt Jordan was certainly the less busy of the two goalkeepers. And Greg Sutton had plenty to do in that first half. He had to be particularly vigilant. Former Impact player himself for many seasons, Greg Sutton. As Paul Ward prepares to get us underway in this second half. A reminder, if you're just joining us, that Montreal Impact playing in all black, kicking from right to left in this second half, and Toronto for the first time this season playing in their changed jerseys of grey with red shorts and red socks. No score then, but both teams will be looking to make an early breakthrough in this second half. Laurent Robert looking to get Jared Smith going, and the New Zealander was on his way.
It's a lovely ball from Laurent Robert, but Patrick Leduc read it very well, came across to cover Pizzoli, his partner, made a vital challenge because Jared Smith was in on goal if he got on the end of that.
I'm wondering what John Carver might have said to his players at half-time, bearing in mind they've been forced to make the change. More on that in a moment, as Marvell Wynne forces the throw-in.
I think John Carver will have told his team, you're very lucky to still be in this. They haven't played poorly, but they started slowly, and Montreal certainly had the better of the first half.
Smith again, this time dispossessed, and away come Montreal, looking for the run of Barnett, finding Aguilera, and then it's Ribeiro on that far side. Aguilera again looking for the ball over the top, but something of a misunderstanding. And if you're Nick DeSantis, what have you told your team at halftime?
I think Nick will be pleased with how the first half went. You know, as I said before, many people think Toronto, because they're in the MLS, they're in a higher league, that they'll come here and win easily, but I don't think that's going to be the case at all. Nick has to be pleased with how things went in the first half, but maybe a little bit frustrated that they haven't scored a goal yet.
Placentino with a nice back heel, but the ball played just too far ahead. Barnett would have been offside had he chased it down. Smith with the ball inside, manages to find Robert. And Smith making a nuisance of himself. Montreal dealt with it competently. Barnett got a push in the back from Velez. Referee waves play on. And a throw to the home team. Jurtson will take it. Well, in fact, he won't take it. But Gatti will. Robert. Robinson. Now Harms. Nice turn. Robert outside. And Smith again. Turns into trouble. And Aguilera with the long crossfield ball. Ricketts with a chance to run at defenders. Forced to go backwards though to Robinson. Brennan's well forward as well. Robinson with the ball in. Barnett looking for the flick on to Placentino, who was very lively in that first half and perhaps unfortunate not to find the net.
They are your proverbial little and large pairing up front, aren't they?
They certainly are. This is Jurtson. Strong tackle, but a fair one, says the referee. Testo turning Robinson. Testo finds Placentino. The offside flag's gone up again. It's often a feature of Toronto's play. And a yellow card for Kevin Harms, I believe.
The referee did very well there. He played the advantage when Harms made that tackle. It's not often we praise referees, it's usually the other way around, but he made a very good decision there, and that's what that yellow card came out for on Harms.
Went back having played the advantage, but hadn't forgotten the incident. Played forward. Possibilities here. Forced wide. Robert picks it up and then gives it away, and that's wasteful. Chance for the Montreal Impact to break again through Barnett, and Placentino battling with Velez, goes to ground. Velez is penalised. He's furious with the decision. He isn't though. Victor Santos will certainly take it. Play goes on quickly. Barnett battling. Win with a chance to clear. Jurtson looking for options. Barnett with the flick on, but there was no one behind him.
They've caused problems, the front two, Barnett and Placentino. They just have to have an end product.
Brennan and Ricketts combining up that left-hand side. Ricketts looking for Robert, but it never found him. Harms battling away again. He's got to be a little careful now, having already received a yellow card. And seasoned Toronto FC watchers will know that Kevin Harms is a combative player, shall we say. Well, Cunningham was round his man, and there's going to be another yellow card here. Indeed there is. The yellow card this time for Pisoli. Well, Pisoli has got his marching orders for a second yellow card. Coach is absolutely furious. This is what led to the second yellow. Cunningham was around him and was held back, and Pisoli did what was necessary.
That's what Jeff Cunningham brings to this team, is that pace to get in behind people.
The net result is that Montreal are down to 10 men. Pisoli dismissed by Paul Ward. And Toronto have a free kick as well, which Robert will float across, but not before Paul Ward has spoken to a number of players who are pushing and shoving in the area. Robert, left arm aloft. Ball into the danger area, but Jordan dealt with it confidently. Well, now this is going to force a rethink for Montreal coach Nick DeSantis. His team now a man short. 4 at the back, 3 in midfield. It looks like they're still committed to having 2 up front.
Yeah, it looks like Testo is going to come back, possibly, and play alongside Leduc.
Yeah, Testo's gone into a central defensive role. So just 3 in midfield now for the Impact. And Barnett and Placentino continue their partnership up front. All played over, looking for Barnett. It was more in hope than expectation. And now Ricketts has a chance to run at the reduced Montreal midfield. Carl Robinson might find a little more room now. Tebeli looking for Robert. Placentino. Marvell Williams in quickly. Robert with room to run, but dispossessed. And Gatti coming forward. Placentino. Only one to aim for. Velez stood his ground.
Well, this changes the game plan for both teams a little bit, Nigel. Montreal want to contain, hit on the counter-attack. And what Toronto need to do is keep possession of the ball. This is a big pitch. They need to use that space, tire out Montreal, and create chances.
Well, it's a big week for soccer in Canada, not just this match tonight. As Carl Robinson knocks it out to that far side. Brendan with the ball over. Not just the game tonight, but a big weekend. Soccer Day in Canada is on the way this weekend. Comes up on Saturday from 12 noon. And we will follow that with Toronto FC at home to the LA Galaxy. 3:30 Eastern. We hope you'll join us for that. Montreal preparing to make another substitution in light of that sending off, and they're going to bring on a teenager, Alex Suprinant. Probably at the next break in play. More on that in a moment. Barnett with the header on to Placentino. And now Jertson trying to outrun Marvell Wynn, who pushed his opponent and conceded the free kick. Wynn backs off. Aguilera will take the free kick as the Impact fans sense the breakthrough. Aguilera, the ball over the top. Header away by Smith. Testo can keep the ball rolling. And Ribeiro into the danger area again. This time Velez away. Aguilera faced by Smith. Finds Jertson. Jertson goes over. This time nothing doing from the referee. Play on, he says. Aguilera given away. Harms for Toronto. Quickly to Ricketts. Ricketts again. Brennan in support. Brennan inside. Belted away. Ricketts goes to find it. Tebeli looking for Robert to switch the angle of play. But it'll roll behind for a goal kick, and here comes the substitution for Montreal. Placentino is going to be replaced. But he's been very lively, Rocco Placentino.
He's done very well today, Placentino, but this is very much a tactical substitution by Nick DeSantis. He's taking off a striker, bringing in a defender,
And
just to try and solidify their team a little bit. They're going to leave Barnett up front by himself, try and use his pace to catch Toronto on the counterattack.
As we alluded to a moment ago, Alex Surprenant, just 18 years old, is the new man to shore up that back line. So a big responsibility on his shoulders. Coming into the match, still deadlocked. No score as we approach the hour mark. Brendan and Robinson trying to spread the play with Wynn and Robert on this near side. Robert bundled over, but fairly, says the referee, by the newcomer, Surprenant. Barnett finds Testo. Aguilera. Ricketts with a chance to run. Nice footwork by the wide man. Over goes Cunningham. Testo to Gatti. Jetson again. Flick on from Jetson, but there's only Barnett up front now. Cunningham, three around him. Cunningham still going, goes to ground. Wins the free kick. And this is Laurent Robert territory. And Montreal will have to be very careful.
Just gets crowded out a little bit, Cunningham. It wasn't really going to go anywhere. Not a great foul to be giving up when you've got someone like Laurent Robert on the other team.
Well, I'm sure Nick DeSantis has warned his players about giving away free kicks from around this range. It's pretty central. 5 in the wall for Montreal. Brennan is there as well, perhaps to offer some advice. But Robert will test the wall. And perhaps the goalkeeper. It's Robert. Was there a handball? The referee's whistle is gone. Now what's the call? Yellow card for Aguilera.
I think he's moved before the ball was hit. Trying to get a block in. You can see him here. It's not for the handball, actually, because it wasn't Aguilera that used his hand. He broke from the wall early.
The net result is a free kick in virtually the same position.
This is the threat that Laurent Robert carries. You know, there's 6 men in that wall.
I'm trying to count them myself.
Plus a charger. plus 3 Toronto players. And the Toronto players are there to try and distract the goalkeeper.
Robinson, Smith, Ricketts are around there as well, but Robert has another opportunity.
Matt Jordan has to crouch low to try and see the ball here. There's 2 Toronto players in his line of sight.
Will he go?
They're going to
over?
split.
Will he go for pace? It's Robert. It's too high.
It's a shame from Toronto's standpoint, because what they're trying to do there, the 2 Toronto players that are in the wall are trying to screen the goalkeeper so that he can't see the ball very well. And just as Laurent Robert goes to hit it, they split and they open up a gap in the wall. And that's where Laurent Robert is trying to hit, obviously trying to unsight the goalkeeper and have a free strike on goal. Unfortunately, he couldn't hit the target there.
Robinson and Smith. Robert Looking for the run again of Cunningham at the back heel. Smith was there or thereabouts, but alert defending by Montreal. Velez and Harms combine. Harms looking for the ball over the top for Ricketts, but under hit and guided back to Jordan. "63 minutes gone in the opening Nutrilite Canadian Championship game at the Saputo Stadium in the east end of Montreal. It is still stalemate. There have been chances at both ends. That'll be another corner to Montreal. Conceded by Marco Velez. Another possibility here for Montreal to open their account. Good punch from Sutton. Testo will try and keep the move going for the impact. Flicked over the top. Well, it fell in the end to Sutton.
It's good goalkeeping from that corner from Greg Sutton. He's had to come through bodies to try and punch that ball. He had to make sure he got that as well.
Ricketts in a more central role now. Win, that was what they call a hospital ball, but he managed to deal with it before losing out. Well, the Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins go at it again tomorrow night on Hockey Night in Canada, 8 p.m. Eastern. It is game 3. And as if you needed reminding, the Red Wings leads the Stanley Cup Series by 2-0. Carl Robinson. Robert now over on that left side again. He's got through a ton of work. Robinson again. As Marvell Wynn makes his way forward. Ricketts once again now on this near side, faced by Gaddy. Rides a couple of challenges. Cunningham. Barnett forced to work alone, doing his best to hold the ball up despite the attentions of Brennan and Tebele. Arms out to that far side. Brass managed to do enough to deny the Frenchman, Laurent Robert. Just one goal this season. That winner against Salt Lake some weeks ago. And the free kick he had 2 or 3 minutes ago was from a very similar position. In that game against Salt Lake, he went under the wall. Tonight he tried chipping it over the top. Cunningham again, making a nuisance of himself. Barnett and Tebele. Brennan finds Robert again. Runs into trouble. Braz won't let him out of his sight. Forward again. Robinson. It's a tough challenge. Referee let it go. But it's going to run away for a throw.
Mesdames, Messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, l'assistance au match de ce soir. Tonight's attendance, 12,083. 12,083.
The attendance just over 12,000. It's just about a full house. The Saputo Stadium here, modern capacity, just over 13,000. So the fans have certainly come out to support this, and that's what the organisers will want. which I'm sure will please the organisers and the sponsors, the fact that the teams have taken seriously, and so have the spectators.
They have. The spectators obviously have full confidence in their team getting a victory today. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for them now that they're down to 10 men, but they're defending resolutely so far.
Kevin Harms going forward. He's got Ricketts outside him. This is Ricketts with the ball across. Jordan was relieved to hear the whistle.
Does well here, Jordan, because he comes out and punches the ball, but actually hits his own player. And that I've seen many times where that ends up in the back of the net. It's a difficult ball to deal with as a defender because in behind you, in between you and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper comes off his line and punches or tries to clear. It could go anywhere.
Adam Browse and Jeff Cunningham tussling for possession in a dangerous area. But the 10 men of Montreal managed to keep the ball out. Meanwhile, Jertson trying to get the better of Velez. Referee's whistle has gone.
Tried to play the advantage of referee because it looked like Jertson was going to stay on his feet and get the better of Velez there and get in a position to get a dangerous cross in. As soon as the referee realized that wasn't going to happen, he called up for the original foul.
More defending for Toronto FC. In the 70th minute, it'll be Surprenant to take it, left-footed. Robinson with a header away as far as Aguilera. Chipped back in again. Now possibilities. It's gone over the top. A goal kick is the result.
This is actually very good defending. Great little ball over the top. Smith does enough just to get ahead on it, and Tebele ends up having to scissor kick it off of Barnett and out for a goal kick.
Ribeiro, dispossessed by Robinson. Robert on that left side again, looking for the run of Cunningham.
Toronto just need to be careful here because any of these set pieces that they're giving up in the final third are opportunities for Montreal to nick a goal. When you're playing against 10 men, it can sometimes be more difficult than playing against 11 because it galvanizes the 10 men. They dig in, they give that little bit extra, and it's very difficult to break them down. Toronto have to keep the ball, make the pitch big, and tire Montreal out.
Well, Adam Browse there has certainly given his all against his former team tonight. He's faced both Ricketts and Robert down that right side, now playing as a central defender. Browse following the earlier dismissal of Pisoli. Ricketts now back on this near side. Crowded out, but fouled in the opinion of the referee, and Ricketts has gone down and stayed down. No great harm done.
This is the kind of positive play that John Carver wants to see more of from Rowan Ricketts. You want your wide players to pick up the ball and run at defenders.
Into the area again, there it is! And the opening goal goes to Toronto, and it's Velez again, the big central defender, up from the back, and in the 73rd minute, after chances at both ends, it's the visitors who take the lead through Carlos Velez, and Toronto lead it by 1-0.
Well, we just spoke about how dangerous it was for Toronto to concede free kicks, and the same applies to Montreal. A ball like that is very difficult for a goalkeeper to come and catch. It's in behind the defenders, and all it needs is a touch. Great ball in from Laurent Robert, and just takes a touch. Velez leans on his man, uses his strength, and heads in the opening goal.
Offside against Barnett. Velez Second goal since joining Toronto FC. Scored a header against New York a couple of weeks ago. And repeats the feat against the Montreal Impact. Ricketts. Braz got a touch on it. It's kept in. So suddenly the game takes another twist. And Toronto have a precious lead in the Saputo Stadium against the 10 men of Montreal. Jertson. Aguilera. It's going to run away. Ribeiro with the ball across. There's the goal scorer.
But we talk about the game changing, Nigel, and it's a tactical change. It's a mindset now. Do Toronto push for that second goal to kill the game off, or are they content with what they have and protect that one-goal lead? Montreal have no choice. They have to go out and try and get an equalizer now, so they're going to push men forward and try and capitalize on their pace up front, which will leave them a little bit exposed at the back, gives Toronto an opportunity for that second goal.
Cunningham again, using his pace. Not much support. Smith was coming in. Forces a hurried clearance. Referee says play on. Testo again. Montreal now forced to chase the game in front of their own fans. Supernal on this near side. Tuck from Ricketts. Referee lets it go. Robinson on the charge with Cunningham, and for a moment it's 3-on-2. And Robinson straight at the goalkeeper. Well, he rarely gets forward that far, Carl Robinson, but he had a clear shooting chance.
It's a very good opportunity for Toronto to get the second goal and kill this game off. I think Carl Robinson, if he's honest, probably would have wanted that on his right foot as opposed to his left. And in the end, it wasn't much trouble for Matt Jordan.
Jim Brennan. And Toronto, of course, can slow the game down now. They have the lead. They can control the football.
This is where you want to make the pitch big, we say. Which what you do is you tell your wide players to get their feet on the touchline, make the pitch as big as possible, and keep possession of the ball. You've got a numerical advantage, and you need to take advantage of that. You've got to obviously keep the ball, keep possession, move Montreal around, and try and create openings that way.
Rowan Ricketts looking for a shooting chance, perhaps. Well, it fell to Jeff Cunningham, and he could only scoop it out of the stadium. Well, John Carver must be a happier man. His opposite number obviously knows time is the enemy now. Well, it's noticeable in the last 5 minutes how the atmosphere inside the Saputo Stadium was just not exactly drained away, but it's certainly become a quieter place than it was for certainly the whole of the first half and much of the second. But the Toronto goal has just quietened down the crowd a little. Jertson battling with Wynn. Final substitution is on the way for Montreal. They're going to risk all and go with another striker. More on that in a moment. Here's Kevin Harms. Robinson. And Brennan. They'd love a second here, Toronto. Robert, nice touch. Robert still going. Ball in for Cunningham. Couldn't control it with his first touch. Montreal scramble it away.
It's good defending from Montreal. When you're down to 10 men like they are, as a defender, you have to be very, very focused, very concentrated on what you're doing, because you're pushing men forward all the time to try and get that equalizer. Oftentimes you're left man for man at the back.
Final substitution there. Dwight Barnett is withdrawn, and young Brazilian Severino Jefferson in his first year with Montreal, young 22-year-old, replaces him to spearhead the attack. Maybe asked, as Barnett was, to operate as a lone striker. It appears so. There he is, the new man. First touch for Jefferson. Battling with Tabali, manages to get the ball across, but Tabali's interception took the pace off it. Olivier Tabali, now 32 years old. I think won a Scottish Championship medal with Celtic some years ago. Carl Robinson. And Harms, who's managed to keep himself out of trouble since that yellow card. His win. Once again, TFC content to knock it about. Smith got the last touch. It's a Montreal throw. Aguilera and Braz. Adam Braz again knows they've got to get it moving. Testo's moving forward quickly, but can't beat Tabali.
It's clever defending from Olivier Tabali there. He knew the ball was going to skip through the goalkeeper, just got his body in between Testo and the ball, prevented it from getting on the end of it.
Robert and Brennan. It's done well, Brennan. The cross. Couldn't keep it down. Smith made contact.
It's a great cross from Jim Brennan. Danny Dicchio knows all about that kind of cross, that kind of service. Had one very similar to that away to DC United earlier on in the week. Jim Brennan on the overlap, full of energy still at the end of the game. Puts a great cross in. Smith just can't quite get over the top of it.
9 minutes remaining for Montreal to find an equaliser. Toronto lead by a 73rd minute header from Marco Velez. Cunningham. Ricketts' shot is deflected into the arms of Matt Jordan.
They need to get men forward now, Montreal. No point sitting back. They got to go and try and get that equalizer.
Robinson and Robert combining. Again, Brennan making himself available on the overlap. This is the captain. Looking for the early cross, but that's too close to Jordan. Jurtson quickly gets on with it. Not much to aim at though for Jurtson. Remember, it's Montreal, a man down.
There's some tired legs out there for Montreal. They've worked ever so hard today. Playing nearly 35 minutes with 10 men. It takes a lot out of you when you're covering a big pitch like this.
Robert. Once again, the visitors content to play possession football. No need to entertain. just manage the game, as they say.
Well, they have what they need. You know, they've got the lead, they've got an extra man, they can afford to spread the play, keep possession. It's clear that Montreal have given everything that they've got to try and get back in this game. There's not a lot of energy out there anymore.
And this must be immensely frustrating for Montreal.
It's horrible because
TFC just knock it about.
They deserve something out of the game, I think, especially for their first half performance. They played very well in the first half.
Ricketts looking for Cunningham. Once again, disappointing from number 96. He had a couple of looks in the first half, as David Testo brings it forward for the impact. Suprenant, important touch from Tebeli.
Needed to make that touch. He's done what's required of him tonight, Tebeli. You know, there's always question marks when you bring in a new player into the back four that's established and has done well. But Tebeli has slotted in comfortably, done what he had to do, had a good battle with Barnett, but he's come out on top as they've got a clean sheet.
Jetson again, tracked by Wynn. Aguilera looking for help. Testo's well forward, if they can find him. This is Testo. Good disciplined defending by Toronto, forcing them back. Two men ahead. One of them is the new man. Was there a handball there? Referee let it go. Certainly Velez was making the protests. Meanwhile, quickly in the other direction. Toronto FC, Robert with Ricketts. Well, had he taken it first time, there was an opportunity to shoot. He took a touch and the chance was gone. But wins a throw. And Wynn in no great hurry to take the throw in.
They just want to kill the game off now. 5-6 minutes left to go. They've got possession of the ball. They want to keep it.
Kept in well. Now Ricketts. Robert. Harms well forward. Got a push. Referee waves play on. Jordan comes and decisively catches. Braz. Well, there's really no time for Montreal to play pretty football. They've got to get on with it. Velez, on the other hand, content to clear his lines. Suprenant wins the throw. One for the new man to charge. Smith sets Brennan away. Brennan goes for goal himself. And wasn't far wide.
It's good effort from Jim Brennan. Still, as I said before, he's full of energy, wants to get forward, trying to take advantage of that man that they had sent off Montreal, outnumbering the fullback on that side, getting himself forward into a shooting position.
Well, he has a shot on him, Jim Brennan. We saw it at Columbus last year.
He has the ability to score from free kicks and from open play as well.
Going to be a busy summer for the Toronto skipper.
It will, with World Cup qualifying coming up. I'm sure Jimmy Brennan is the kind of player that Dale Mitchell will be looking to have involved in his squad.
Had the opportunity to play against Brazil this coming weekend, but elected to stay true to the club.
I think that says more about his commitment to this football club than about any wavering commitment to the Canadian national team.
No, well, I was going to say there wasn't an offside, it came late, but there is. Finally, the flag is up. You tend to find in the modern game, with what they call the passive offside rule, that the assistant referee will wait until contact is made before raising the flag, and that confuses some.
It's horribly frustrating for defenders because, you know, you assume that the flag is going up, and when it doesn't, you know, it's...
then you start chasing like mad.
Yeah, it requires more work and effort from the defenders.
And we'd never have that. Meanwhile, Ricketts forced the save, scrambling defence. Marvell Wynn comfortably wins the throw.
It's a great save from Jordan, keeping them in with a chance of nicking a goal here at the end of the game to equalize.
Into the final minute of the 90. Toronto FC leads it by a goal to nothing. This man scored it, Velez, with a header in the 73rd minute. That's a great ball through, but once again, that won't count. Cunningham tried to finish it anyway, but the offside flag had gone. Another effective header from Tebele. Harms and Robinson. We're hearing there'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time. And that's time enough if Montreal can be creative enough. Ribeiro. Muscled out of it by Velez. Winning Ricketts. Testo trying to find a way through. Not too many grey shirts around him. Forward they come again with Brennan.
We saw the best and worst of Rowan Ricketts there. As a coach, it frustrates you to no end when you have a player that has talent and uses it sporadically. You know, he was a little bit lazy with the ball, gave it away, but then worked his socks off to get it back. All you want from a player like that is consistency, to be able to do it all the time, and it's very frustrating for a coach to see it not happening.
Schertzen battling with Wynn, and it was an important challenge for Wynn to win. Tebele. Brendan forward again. Cunningham. Robinson with the ball ahead. Twist by Smith. Brennan again. Took his eye off the ball. It'll be a free kick to Montreal, and Harms couldn't be too aggressive in the challenge. Schertzen again. And the danger passes. Robinson. Ricketts and Robinson again, and they know that there are only seconds remaining on my watch. Just 1 minute of stoppage time to go. Velez and Tebele can knock it about between themselves if they want to for the next 60 seconds, and that'll be the job done. Coming forward again. Closing seconds at the Saputo Stadium. A few of the fans heading for the exits. They've seen enough. But it's been a well-contested game by both teams. They'll meet again, of course, in Toronto. In the final game of this 6-game qualifying tournament. Free kick to Toronto. 1 or 2 thought it was the final whistle. There are, well, just barely seconds remaining. We played the 3 minutes on my watch. This may be the final action of the game. Paul Ward, whistle to lips, points to the dressing rooms. And Toronto FE have done what they